So this is going to be a few minutes of recapping from the video that I posted yesterday on weight and shame, mostly because it was kind of like a gem or a take-home message that I wanted to kind of hone in and make sure that I just said out loud. Because there's so much reflecting that we do in our own quiet time, whether that's on our computer or in our journals. And for me, that's no different. And I had some big aha moments. And the biggest one for me was, this life is my opportunity to heal, even though others around me didn't get there. And I think that there's some subconscious patterning about whether or not we give ourselves permission to heal or not, based on someone else's struggles. So when it comes to my mom and my dad, whether or not they have established the ultimate peace and freedom in their body, that doesn't mean that I don't get to. In fact, that should propel me towards establishing that peace and freedom even more. But subconsciously, I don't believe that I gave myself that permission until recently. And another big part of this is not letting myself be someone who gets to talk about weight loss and weight gain, because I'm right here in the middle. You know, the most weight I ever gained was when I was pregnant. It was 35 pounds per pregnancy, which I lost almost within the first month. And I don't say that to boast. I say that to just say that was my reality. And I've never had to lose hundreds of pounds. I've never had to gain more than 10 to be, you know, in a really healthy place where my hormones are functioning well. This has been my experience in the world, but just because this has been my experience doesn't mean I don't get to talk about it. And I think that that's the biggest point, is that for the longest time I didn't give myself permission to talk about it, because who am I, right? Privileged white girl who grew up in Portland, Maine, and went to private and public school and got to go to college. And you know, there was this blip in time where white privilege was really called out on people, and it kind of made me get really small. And I never wanted my ego to shine brighter than my humility. And so I rather just kind of stayed in the shadows and behind the camera and just tried not to get too loud or too big or too boisterous. But right now I'm in a time in my life where I'm letting myself speak up. Because if I don't, then when I'm 70, 75, or 80, I'm going to wish that I had, and I don't want to have that regret. So that's the quick recap. My video on weight and shame was more about giving me permission to heal and to be vocal about that healing and to help other people heal, no matter wherever they are. And because I have been able to maintain a particular weight through self-discipline and also lots and lots of indulgences, I promise you, my life is not about militancy. And I think that that's part of the secret sauce to living a life of freedom, is knowing where and when to wiggle. And that is in essence what I will be exposing and sharing more in the coming weeks and months, is just, you know, where do you let go and where do you rein it in, right? Because you can and you will and you should, in pursuit of the peace and freedom that you deserve. So I'll see you in the next video, and thank you for listening.